Good evening. This is Tumi Tladi coming through on Saturday evening. Yes, I work Saturday evening. In fact, this, to be honest, it motivates me to continue to work. At this time, what time is it? 8:04. I'm watching series at this time. Speaking of series, I have a bunch of series. I watch a lot of series every day, like about 4 to 5. I download a lot every single day. You can see these files are quite big. Come on. 487 megabytes. 486. Oh, okay, I'm recording. Okay. Yes, so this is gonna be video number 7. It is video number 7, but when I record it's video number 7 or going to be video number 7. Doesn't matter. My English wants now to run out of airtime quickly. Now it's crazy. It needs to be humbled. Okay, so please watch the previous video number 6. I went through MVC Create project and we are done looking at that, and we were doing some demos, with the user that's been authenticated. And now I'm gonna quickly go to this project called MVC for .NET Core, ASP.NET MVC for .NET Core, as the framework. So let's do this, and I'll talk why this is important that I move in this direction. Okay, so there's a startup project. Cool. These videos are very important. I provide good stuff, my own knowledge, my own understanding. If you like me to focus on something specific for you, please write in the comment below using hashtag request. Your request has to be in capital letters, and then I will take a look at that, and then I will see which platform you like me to focus on, which app, and then specifically what, and then I'll be sure to make a video on that, because I'm gonna cover a lot of things. I almost covered something on the previous video number 6, but I realized that it's not meant for a specific feature or a specific functionality, but I almost got there. So right now what I'm doing, I'm breaking these project structures, what's happening in this project, what do these files do and all that. Okay, let's get started. Now, the reason why I'm moving into ASP.NET MVC targeting .NET Core is because I finished ASP.NET MVC targeting .NET Framework. So, and then the website, this is the website for framework. The MVC core version starts with mvc.identicaldocs.co.za. So this project that's about to load, it is ASP.NET MVC targeting .NET Core. I hope that's clear. Good. And it's identical to this one. It's similar. It's almost practically the same as far as UI goes, but the code is different. Where do we start? Let's check critical stuff. Okay. So we're checking the properties for this project. I'm just gonna brush quickly on this one. I don't want to spend too much time, but if you'd like me to focus specifically on ASP.NET MVC targeting .NET Core, please tell me. There's an auto map in here. There's a dependency injection system. There is, I think, fluent validation. No, it's not. It's on the web API, but there's some good stuff here. Okay, so we see that this assembly name is targeting .NET 5.0. .NET 6, it's almost out. Well, it's out. It's in preview right now. I should get it. So that's the first thing. Connected service, please look at Microsoft Docs, what it does. Dependencies, we did the same thing that I don't know what analyzers do. I haven't figured out. Come on. Yeah, there are too many analyzers here. Too many. But I believe that as you add certain, if not all, the NuGet packages like Entity Framework Core, somehow it gets to be added as an analyzer. That's the only thing you need to know. Frameworks. So these are the actual frameworks, ASP.NET Core and .NET Core. And then we have the actual packages that are added on this project. We have auto mapper, and I'm gonna do the package to get packages. What do they do? What's the purpose of them? How did I make use of them in my system? So I'm still gonna focus extensively on the packages like auto mapper. Big shout out to Ms. Maya Masaba, CUT's lecturer, teaching IT, third year and fourth year students. On LinkedIn, there was a conversation the second time around when he mentioned AutoMapper because I posted a lot of things. I can go to the article right now. He said I should consider AutoMapper. Yeah, so in fact, I'm gonna do that. Let me give him a proper shout out. So, LinkedIn. Yeah, because it shows as a developer that I'm engaging, and then I was posting something and then he commented, and then I'm like, because it was the second time around. This is someone who have made use of AutoMapper, and then he understand the importance of it, and then I did a research and I'm like, no, I need this. In fact, it can simplify my work. So yeah, that's why I'm pretty much excited about that one. Okay, so let's wait for my internet to be, come on. Okay, we'll come to that. And then we have SP on the core, identity, entity framework core, identity.ui, entity framework core, SQL, and then we have a Sync Fusion. We'll talk about this. It's a huge thing, and I'm gonna give a big shout out to Sync Fusion. When I do this, there's a control that I use. In fact, it's an MVC grid, but it's different. This one is for .NET framework. This one it's specifically for .NET Core, and I'll give a shout out to them also. And then we have projects. You see this one. This is how you reference in .NET Core world, because we did cover DAL for .NET Core. Now that's how I referenced it. Okay, now you understand what's happening in dependencies. And then let's come to program.css file. So this is where the application starts while it's thinking of loading. Please do connect with me on LinkedIn. We do a lot of things here, and please make sure when you follow, when you connect with me, let's be all about IT related stuff, please, because when you connect with me, I don't look at your profile, I'll look at later on. Okay, I don't want to get into debate of this. Let me shut up. Admire Musaba. Yes, but I'm looking for a specific comment. But my own comment, like, no, my own comment. Damn it. Auto mapper. Is this LinkedIn this really stupid in this regard? Because what about a comment that was made by him? Okay, no, I'm not gonna go there. It's fine. Okay, so this is where the application starts. We know that, right? This is where the application starts. Please read the documentation on what program.cs does. Please, please, please. And then we go to app, startup class. Okay, this is a license for Sync Fusion. It's private, I hope. Yeah, I wasn't aware of, I have sensitive stuff here. Okay, but for the rest of stuff you won't see. Okay, so this is where you register or you configure your services, and you register those services you configure and you register them. So yeah, you also set up the default route, like you should start with home. You saw since I loaded this thing, this is a home controller by default, and then the index action method, and then the ID it's nullable, and then I map the razor page. Okay, let me start here. This is a huge thing. I'll try to trace the guy who taught me this. install. Who taught me this? Yeah, I know the guy taught me all of this. I'll try to look for the guy's name on YouTube. He made it clean, like clean. Usually this method configure services, it will be full of crappy stuff, like a lot of stuff. Instead, they are broken into a folder called installers. Like I have a DB installer, I have AutoMapper installer, I have MVC installer, I have you know, I can have so many things installers in here. So it's just one line of code. That's it, and it's working. And then here, this is a unique thing for Syncfusion. I'll talk about that later on. You see how clean this method is? I should be hired quickly. Like, please call me. I should be hired. Send me an email, like connect with me, because I listen. And then we have configure, and then we know what's happening. I still have to learn a lot of things. Like it says, if the environment is in development, use developer exception, right? Exception page. Else use this one, but I want the one of database, because we also have app.database, something like exception. That's an exception page for database specifically, but I want to know what happens in production. Like, can I customize it? And then this error message, it still gives me a headache for to be honest, but we'll get there. And then I configured to use HTTP as redirection, although I have SSL for this domain, but if you try to go via HTTP, it will redirect it to be HTTPS. Use static files, yes, because I have a folder www-root. Use routing, use authentication, and use authorization, because you have to log in, you have to be authenticated, and then you have to be authorized. And where's my image? And then use the endpoints and how we map them. So now you understand. I'm not gonna open this one. It has some sensitive stuff. Okay, but just know. And also, this is an opportunity for me. The sensitivity of credentials, they need to go using Azure Key Vault. This is a time for me to brag about stuff I'm gonna do. Azure Key Vault. It's a service in Azure that I'm coming after, you know. So I'm excited about this. I'm just waiting for myself to get money, and then I'm gonna take all this into Azure, because I'm a Microsoft fan. And then the Key Vault is gonna manage the sensitivity of credentials. You know, this credentials are very sensitive and all that. Why are you loading the way you load? Why are you funny? Okay. Safeguard cryptographic keys and other secrets used by cloud apps and services. So it's what I'm going to use and deploy my application to Azure App Service. So yeah, I'm still learning a lot about the goodness of Microsoft Azure. A big shout out to you, Microsoft Azure. Cool. Now let's get the party started. Oh, properties. What do we have in there? Oh, when you publish, and speaking of publish is the big thing. You don't just publish .NET Core applications. You need to be careful about your hosting provider. Like I'll do a series on services that I've used. One of them is where do I host the websites, you know, like I show. And then we have a launch settings, like what should happen, which one is the first one. We have a service dependencies and all that. Just know, yeah, that's what's happening. Let me start with www-root. So this is what serves static files, okay? This is what will appear on the end user. So content, I'll talk about this, why it's there. But CSS, this is the site.css for the entire application. JavaScript, this is the site JavaScript for the entire application. Lib, this is where the Bootstrap lives, and this is where jQuery lives, and then jQuery validation lives. And then unobtrusive, I've always struggled to pronounce this. Unobtrusive, yes, that's for validation stuff. So Microsoft rearranged stuff like this in a nice way. Lib. The content, remember I said I replicated a normal domain website .NET framework to .NET Core, like identically. So for me to do that, this is a custom thing. This is a custom navigation bar, the styling. This is a custom footer, the styling. So it's identical, literally. So what do I mean? Everything that I have in here, I moved it as it is with the folder called content. Everything. Like I have the images, it also has the images. Content, these are the images. I have the custom CSS. These are all the custom CSS. Now you know what's happening in the content. Okay, cool. Areas, it's this identity system. This what handles the everything has to do with login and log out, login and log out stuff in ASP.NET Core, you know, forgetting your password, stuff like that are handled in this folder called identity within areas. I tried to remove this folder areas, just leave identity, it don't go very well. So these are all the pages for account. I can do access denied, confirm email, forgot password confirmation, login, logout, reset password, reset confirmation. In fact, I never completed this thing because there is manage that's missing. Yeah, I never completed it. That means I'm behind. Now you know. This is the auto mapper for the admin. As you can see, I'm a discipline about this auto mapper. Is it appropriate for whom? So for administrator. Also, do I have the same thing when it comes to auto mapper? MVC, yes. See, I do the same thing. So we'll talk about auto mapper later on. And then we have controllers. So for both roles, client and administrator. And then if you can look at that, I'm a very disciplined programmer. I don't do things for the sake of doing things. So yeah, so we do have clients, identical docs. I didn't do master read, I'll do it later on because it needs to be, there has to be consistency here. About, home and contact pages, they're also there. About, contact and home. Cool. And then I have installers. It's a big thing, I'll come to it. I have media. Remember there was a media when I did this, but I don't have uploaded audios or uploaded docs, and I'll explain why. Okay, let me explain right away. The mobile application, this app, when you send through your request for your document to be either copied or printed, it's going to this project. The actual document is gonna live here. Uploaded audios, upload docs, especially upload docs. The audios, it's when the client communicates to you as the customer, and or you, the customer, communicates back to a client using voice message. So I don't need to do this because I'm only showcasing, because remember this is a production system. I can program to go both ways. I can from the web API to go both ways. Maybe I should do that. Maybe it should be fun. That when you upload your document, we'll do that live later on. When you upload your document, where does it go? And we'll take a look at it. But for now, just know that's what's happening. I'm only dealing with the downloads. Okay. The models. I only have error view model. It's a very confusing class, like very, very confusing class. Like it's ugly. Jeez, I'm still gonna come back to this so I can show proper error messages. I'll come to service, a big thing also. Utilities. I have the helpers for clients. I have for email. When I send the actual email in .NET Core, ASP.NET MVC, targeting.NET Core. This is how I configure everything. We'll take a look at it. And then I have the, again, utilities. They're using depletes injection. We'll get there because we're going to look at the code. But if you like to see, like I said, use hashtag request, and then if you want me to explain what's happening here, I'll tell you what's happening, or how to set this email, what's happening here. It's depletes injection, everything. It's depletes injection. And clients, this is where I generate some stuff, you know. There I have a trading hours, and then I deal with the documents, you know, the processes, you know. So yeah, these are the utilities. I have version updates. Let's look at the version updates. When did I add this project? I added January 2021. Let's see what I did. So on the 4th of January 2021, Monday, version 1.0.0.0, using COT computer, I was excited. I added a new project. And then on Tuesday, on the 5th, I added the version updates functionality with only add view just to test out few things, because it's not nice. It's not, okay, let me rephrase that. It's not easy to move from .NET Framework into .NET Core world. Things are different. And then one of the incredible things, added installers to clean up the startup file as startup class. Like I said, I did a lot of things. And then I continue to do the work in February and March. The last time I did the work in March, what did I do? On the 15th of March, part 11, replicating subscription, change the domain redirection on the index view. Yeah. So now you know that I do have version updates to keep track of what I did, to remind myself. I do have the view models for account, login, logout, access denied, confirm password, forgot a password, confirm email, blah blah blah, for clients, and then for admin, for contact page. I'm gonna come. The reason, again, let me explain. The reason why I'm doing this, when I do the contact page, this contact page, like I said, mine, it's working. When you actually fill in the details on contact form, it's sending an actual email to my inbox, and we will do a live demo of that. So there has to be a corresponding view model. So when I do that from the controller, it's a home controller looking at the contact action method. I can quickly just go there. Home, actually no, it's a contact controller, sorry, because I separated them. Okay. The point is there is a corresponding view model. So what happens in here, you see that I'll be saying contact view model. You should know where it lives, and then I'll try to just take a sneak peek into that. I hope it makes sense. Like, I really hope it makes sense. Okay. And then the views, these are all the views. Yeah, they're familiar from .NET Framework. And what's next? Okay. The installers, because before I can go to this guy, I have a class called iInstaller. iInstaller is an interface called installer services. It takes in iService collection and iConfiguration. This is how we clean the startup class. And I do have installer extensions. Okay, installer extension, this is what wires up every single thing. Okay, and then we do have, let's start with DB installer as a normal one. So I have a too many using statements because I'm a very proper developer. So we start with the connection string to say, so services add DB context. So this is how we're gonna set up a connection string, but it's currently in app settings.json. And then we're gonna add database developer page exception filter, something I was talking about. We're gonna add a default identity using that application user class from DAL, you see, from project.NET Core DAL. And then this is where we configure stuff like sign in. We're gonna add the rows, add entity framework stores, and then we're gonna register the services to the DI container dependency injection system. So these are all of them. So you keep it clean, you keep the startup file clean, our startup class clean. And an MVC installer also, because they inherited from installer. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add the controllers with the views. I'm gonna add that email setting and option, and then get some options from app setting.json. And then lastly, automapper. So this is where we set up inherits from iInstaller, where we say add automapper, for the entire domain. Okay, and then comes dependency injection. So for account, we have the login, we have iLogin, and then login. So iLogin, it's an interesting thing, this thing that I did here. It's absolutely a very interesting thing. And then we have login resolving that I login, global variable, application DB context, and then depletes injection using the constructor, and then the method for businesses, because I can use the reference and show you where this method is being used, but I do a lot of stuff here. So I'm a big fan of asynchronous programming, but CUT did not teach me this. CUT via a few of the lecturers, the people that care about the proper way of programming, they will address it like it needs to be asynchronous and explain in detail. But I already knew stuff like that, stuff like to list async, so everything I did here. So everything is a dependency injection system, everything. The document, like the asset access pin, everything. I access pin service, and then all by dependency injection, they do have this service at the end, and then having to resolve that. Everything I did here, and this is where again automapper comes in handy, because I used automapper extensively and heavily. It's quite interesting. Yeah, so I can show in detail, because this is a custom code. This is not something that's found on Google. I do my own stuff, like a random access. I'm excited about that because it took a lot for me to get right this side. So in a nutshell, that's exactly what's happening. So I hope it makes sense. Yeah, so this is the project but let me take you through a tour. Oh, so I meant about this content form. Yes, but let me take you through a tour. You see, I'm logged in as the client, test one, and client can see the documents. In the meantime, while it loads, log in. Let's do something to, just to give you the glimpse of how it works and what's happening. Oh, but I do have access to administrator, and I want to show that package, NuGet package from Syncfusion. This one replacing this MVC grid, because this MVC grid it's only targeting .NET framework, but this package it's for .NET Core. So this will give me an opportunity to show the administrator what exactly goes on with administrator. So let me start with the test one first. So I am authenticated. So while it's loading, you see it's empty. I can go to access pin. I just want to show you the layout. Does it look the same? What's happening? I know you are curious because you can create an account. You can have access to these public domains and everything, but you can't create an account because I have to know who you are before I can give you access to be a client. So access pin, you see, says warning, there's no active access pin, and then it shows all of these the businesses that this user owns. So that's just a glimpse of access pin. So documents. Now you see the grid from Syncfusion is different. It's different. Okay, let's do this again. Go back. Because it's difficult to get MVC grid, the nice one that works in .NET Core. They're all crappy. So this one is a normal MVC grid, the one we saw. But this is the one I try to do my best. I can't get certain things right. I did get the search to work, and the columns is different, but I managed to get to work. Page size I could not get to work, unfortunately, but it does work. It says no records to display. So if there is a record here, there's going to be a record here because it's using the same database. That's a video of it. Okay, and then access pin in .NET Core. Come on. There we go. Still says the same message, but to make it to wide up, it's a different ball game. This is a very interesting thing. Why would test one have only access to 2 businesses? whereas test one this side has access to multiple business. Now there's a bug now. This is the same account. Why? What's happening here? Why does he have access to... No, I need to figure out what's happening. I told you that there are bugs that we're going to identify. I told you. So we need to know, why is this one? Is it the same account? What's happening? Okay. But nevertheless, let me log out. I'm going to log in as administrator. So I give you the claims. You see now we have, okay. And then that should be done. So I want to keep it short and simple. 30 minutes, it's exactly what I was, because I'm going to focus on something specific to say, this is how it works, all the classes, the UI, what's happening, everything. I hope it's correct. It is correct. That was quick. Thank you very much. I am authenticated because, like I said, this one doesn't have issues on running on .NET Core. Tasks. The reason why, just because I'm going to come back here, why I decided to have administrator, because there are multiple, I have access to the entire system. Excuse me. Tasks. There we go. I manage the user's roles, but currently I haven't done anything on the user, I know for sure. But I know I've done everything here, almost everything, yeah. So instead of having these links here, it won't look nice. I decided to create a link, just one link called task, and I'm the only one who's authorized to see this or have access to this. So stuff like genders. So you see how the Sync Fusion control, MVC control looks like. There we go. So that's how it looks like. Data coming from the same database. Let's go back. Now this thing now takes too long to load. Okay, I have provinces. Let me do the cities, this side. Let me do the feedbacks that you see on the app. All the businesses, and then lastly the version updates. So what's here? Cities, and I'll be done. Because you have to be disciplined to build administrator, like you have to be disciplined. So city ID, and if I click, I want even handler, that I click, it goes to the info. So, and then I can do page. You see how many cities I have in total? 328 items. Man, disappear. Page 1 of 33, and it loads quickly if I do this. Look at that. Look at that. How quick it is. There we go. So those are the cities. Feedbacks. The feedbacks are being written from the mobile application. They end up in here, and then that boolean flag, some of them are, because I do test a lot, some of them are public right now on the actual app. Some of them are hidden because those are coming from the tests. Okay, well, it's taking too long. Let's come to business in the meantime. So these are the businesses, and then there's a reason why the longitude and longitude was nullable, because I know why, because there's a bug that I know for sure. And it will say is online. This one, no. Is deleted, no. So those ones are online. Those are the ones that are currently showing on the app. Well, currently showing on the app, the ones that are online and are not deleted. So yeah, these are the demo ones, yeah. Again, feedbacks. So these are the feedbacks, the ones that are public. And by the way, what I liked about this Sync Fusion control is the scrollable, the horizontal scrollable. It was an amazing thing. Okay, so some of them, they're being added from last year. They're still on the system. These are the ratings. Who created them. That user I was talking about. By default, you are anonymous, but you can change it to be any name, and I will know. And then show public, true or false. Okay. And then these are the version. Oh, I'm coming back to this one. And then these are the entire documents I've been pushed through, 144 in total from last year until. So I as administrator have access to everything. Like this document, it's an actual file. The type, it's printing. This one is copy. The file type txt, this is an image, and there's some PDFs. File state if it's available, the customer reference number, the price, the incredible feature, and the process pending or completed, when it was created on. But I can show a lot of stuff here, like the app ID, and I can show a lot of stuff. Okay, this last thing, I'm excited. When I do the mobile application, you're gonna see this in live. I'm excited because this is an actual system where, because I'm gonna do a new version on the mobile application when I upgrade it from Android API level 29 to 30. So I will then say version 1.0.13, but I also have a minor bugs I want to fix on the mobile application, and I push it. But this is a live data. I cannot tamper with this. I can do an add one, but I cannot change this because mobile application depends on this, and I'll show how. So this is my system in a nutshell. So yeah, I'm excited. It took a lot to build this. I was disciplined. I had an expectation. So yeah, but you see, there's some bugs that I don't know what's happening. But making this YouTube content allows me, to go and investigate further what's happening. Because like I said, I'm gonna be transparent. That's how buggy other systems are. Don't think they're perfect. They're buggy, and they know that. Other than that, this was the tour, and next up, the next milestone is gonna be Web API, ASP.NET Web API for the core. This one. Also, the mobile application can make use of this one. It's been tested, but I prefer to use the default one. But I did program this one. I tested it extensively because I need to be able to show that I can build this the same functionality but using a different technology. So that's the next milestone tomorrow. Yes. For now, I'm done. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Thank you.